I'm Stephen and I've put together this video to share my experience of Sri Lanka's Pico Trail. I visited at the end of 2024 and completed stages 18, 19 and 20. I wanted to create this video for anyone like me who might have been planning their journey a month or two ago and found it a bit tricky to get detailed information about accommodation and other logistics. The Pico Trail has gained significant attention over the past year, even being featured as one of the National Geographic's recommended Best of the World 2024 list. It truly lived up to the hype. It was an incredible experience. For anyone looking for their first bit of information about the Pico Trail, I highly recommend starting with the excellent official website. It has all the basic details you'll need, beautifully presented. You can explore each stage individually with clear information on distances, trail difficulty, and more. One of the highlights of the website is the recommendation for hiking apps, which I'll talk about a bit more in a moment. What I didn't realize until I searched more carefully on the website is that it also provides information about accommodation. Scroll to the bottom of the page and click on the accommodation section and you'll find listings for property along each stage. For example, stage 1 and the earlier stages are well represented with plenty of options. However, as you progress to the later stages, there are fewer accommodations being recommended, and they tend to be a bit further away from the trail ends. For navigation, I used the Wikiloc app, which was new to me but came highly recommended. It turned out to be invaluable. The combination of Wikiloc and the trail's excellent signage meant I never got lost. Wikiloc has detailed descriptions of each Pico Trail stage, which are fantastic to read before starting your hike. You're going to be too tired to read them while you're actually walking, so read them beforehand and it'll put some good pictures in your mind of the things you're going to see. Another feature I loved was how the Wikiloc tracks your hike. It recorded my trail time, elevation and route. The best part was it syncing with my watch. Whenever I strayed off the trail, my watch buzzed to alert me. It was a game changer, making navigation effortless. With the app and the signage working together, getting lost simply wasn't a concern. There are several ways to travel to the starting point of your trail. I chose to take the train from Colombo, but you could also drive, take a bus, which I don't recommend at all, or even fly. The train ride is truly spectacular. As you ascend, the views become increasingly more stunning, though the train slows down considerably the higher it goes. The journey from Colombo to Haliella, where my trail started at stage 18, took about 8 hours. While it is a long ride, it's also incredibly special, and you'll find yourself constantly snapping photos. One common, but very risky, activity on the train is standing in the open doorways for the view or taking a selfie for Instagram. Be cautious. There are accidents reported every month. This stop here on the famous bridge also has quite a big drop from the doorway to the ground. So it's fair to say that health and safety isn't taken quite as seriously as you might expect elsewhere. If you're considering taking the train, it's helpful to know how to book tickets. Visit the railway.gov.lk website for reservations. Tickets are available 1 month in advance, and booking early ensures you can sit together if travelling with others. The train from Colombo departs at 5:30 a.m. and you can choose between air-conditioned first class, second class or third class. I opted for first class, which is about $30 US, but I wouldn't do that again. When you're in first class, it's very comfortable, but the windows don't open and the use of air conditioning isn't really necessary after you get into the hills around Kandy because it's cool anyway. Second class, on the other hand, seems much more enjoyable. You can open the windows and the atmosphere is livelier. If you're short on time, consider flying to Nuerelia with Cinnamon Air. The link is in the description. The flight takes just 30 minutes and it's a significant time saver compared to the 8-hour train journey. However, of course, it is a lot more expensive. A concern I had about the trail was the signage. Would it be clear? Would it be well positioned? Would it be confusing? I was a bit worried about it, but after completing 3 of the trails, I can confidently say that my concerns were unnecessary. The signage is simply superb. It's been thoughtfully designed and implemented. At the beginning and end of every trail, there's a small plaque. Along the entire route, orange markers are painted on trees or walls, clearly indicating the direction you should follow. After walking a certain distance, you'll come across orange circles, which almost feel like welcoming friends on the journey. It's reassuring to spot one after a distance without any signs. All in all, the signage is excellent. You won't have any concerns. Combined with the Wikiloc app or other GPS app, it's virtually impossible to get lost. A big well done to the Pico Trail team for their outstanding efforts on the signage. When it comes to what you should take with you, the website provides all the information you need, and the recommendations are very sensible. That said, there are a few things I wish I'd taken, and these were recommended on the website. Sun cream, for example. I didn't bring any, and my nose has been peeling ever since I got back. A hiking or trekking pole would have been a very useful accessory, particularly on stage 19 when navigating the steep downhill sections. I also forgot to pack a fleece or sweater, and it does get cool in the evenings. Stage 18 of the journey takes you from Haliela to Etempitia. Haliela station is a charming rural stop high in the hills at 720 meters, and it's relatively quiet. Some trains don't stop here, so you'll need to confirm your train schedule or plan how to get to Haliela station, which isn't far from stations on either side. I stayed at V6 Nest, which is a 20-minute walk from Haliela station. This homestay, which I found online on the website, is a wonderful location nestled higher up in the hills with views overlooking the town. The house is beautifully constructed and the hosts, Sunil and Rita, are exceptional. V6 is a homestay, it's not a hotel or guest house, so you'll actually stay with the family. It's spacious with plenty of private areas. I had a double room and I believe there's another double room available. The downstairs family area was entirely at my disposal during my stay. The facilities were excellent and the warm shower was particularly appreciated. Sunil and Rita, who have 6 children, hence the name V6, were gracious hosts. Rita prepared an amazing breakfast and dinner, which was included in the $20 fee. A unique feature of the property is its garden, where they grow golden king coconut, a rare variety of Sri Lanka's king coconut. Locals believe it has health benefits, though I found it tasted quite similar to the regular variety. It was a delightful addition to my experience and a great start to my walk. The walk from Haliela to Etempitia spans 13 kilometers, just over 8 miles, and is mostly uphill. While it's not particularly long, the steep incline makes it a challenging route. However, the stunning views improve with every step as you climb higher through tea plantations along the trail. The path, while steep, is incredibly scenic, offering expansive views of mountain tops and valleys. I didn't encounter any other hikers during the stage, or actually during my 3 days on the trail, but I did meet some new friends along the way. Some sections were a bit overgrown, but the grassy paths were manageable. a GPS providing reassurance if the path becomes unclear. I reached Etempitia, a quiet hilltop town. Here you can find supplies to recharge after the walk, including water, and if you're so inclined, a shop selling beer. At Etempitia, I stayed at the White Heaven Hotel, located about 2 kilometers outside the town. While this might seem a long walk after trekking uphill, the route to the hotel is downhill, making the journey much quicker, definitely less than the 25 minutes suggested by Google. The accommodation was excellent value for money. I paid just $20, which included a meal for dinner and breakfast. As expected, at this price, the facilities were basic but had everything you need: a clean, comfortable room, good bathroom facilities, and the all-important heated shower. The double bed was cozy, and the overall setup was perfectly fine for a short stay. The highlight of the White Heaven Hotel is the view from the balcony. I arrived in the late afternoon, settled in with a beer, and enjoyed the serene view of the small valley below. Watching the road come to life with people passing by was a simple yet special experience, making the stay even more memorable. Stage 19 from Etempitia to Lunawate is a challenging but rewarding hike. The route is just under 19 kilometers, that's 12 miles, with an elevation gain of 867 meters and a descent of about 1,000 meters, making it quite a rough trail with plenty of ups and downs. Despite the difficulty, the scenery is truly spectacular and varied, with a mix of vegetation and stunning landscapes. On stage 19, the downhill sections are definitely more challenging than the uphill ones. Well, they were for me at least. This is when I found myself wishing I'd bought a trekking pole, as it would have been very useful. The higher I went, the better the views became, although when I was there, it was misty, which obscured some of the scenery. That said, the mist added its own charm to the experience. The route takes you through farms, near people's homes, and even across estates, so you need to be mindful that you are walking close to where the locals live. The highlight of the trail is undoubtedly the suspended wooden bridge over the Uma Oya River. It's sturdy and safe, and a delightful surprise, even though I'd read about it beforehand. If for any reason the bridge is closed, there's a concrete crossing about 50 meters to the right. Coming up away from the river, there were some roadside stalls, one of which was selling the king coconut. So I had another king coconut, or tambili as it's known in Sri Lanka. There's no need to overpack on snacks. That's maybe another mistake I made. You will always be able to find some kind of snack along the roadside, and it is a great way to make sure that the locals benefit from the Pico Trail. You'll have a big breakfast, and you'll likely have a big dinner, and the routes themselves are not that long, so there's no need to overpack on snacks at all. The vegetation is incredibly diverse. At times, the forested areas are narrow, and the terraced rice-growing valleys reminded me of Japan more than Sri Lanka. It's an enchanting mix of landscapes that felt very unique compared to the other parts of the country in which I've been. Stage 19 ends in Lunawate. This is where I stayed at the Mount Plaza Hotel, which is located 4.5 kilometers from the town centre. After a long day, that extra walk was a bit taxing, but it is manageable. But you could also opt to get a three-wheeler from Lunawate town itself if you wish. The Mount Plaza Hotel is excellent value, again at around the $20 mark, again with dinner and breakfast included. The rooms were comfortable, and there was a very, very beautiful garden. The bathroom had a hot water heater, which is a blessing after a long hike, and overall it was a pleasant stay and well worth the price. Stage 20 of the trail takes you from Lunawata to Udapusilawa, which covers just over 12.5 kilometers with an elevation gain of 650 meters and a descent of 443 meters. While slightly easier than stages 18 and 19, this route begins with a steep incline which goes on for over half the trail, so don't expect an entirely easy day. Once again, stunning views and abundant wildlife. Though I couldn't capture everything on video, I encountered snakes, mongooses and various birds. The trail passes through a working estate where locals may find your presence amusing, especially if you're hiking in misty conditions wearing a t-shirt and shorts. There are 2 eucalyptus forests to walk through on this stage. These are well-maintained forests, and although the trees are not endemic to Sri Lanka, they've been planted high up on the mountain tops to help prevent erosion at the higher elevations. Again, the mist added a magical quality to the journey. The final section is a pleasant descent into Udapusilawa town, which again is a charming hilltop destination with all the essential amenities. It was challenging to find accommodation anywhere close to the town, so I opted to stay 17 kilometers away at the Scottish Planters Bungalow, which is in Ragala. The Scottish Planters Bungalow is a fantastic place to relax after 3 days of hiking. It is definitely the most expensive of the 4 places I stayed at around $100 per night, but it does offer exceptional service and it's got beautifully preserved rooms and excellent food. The bungalow is staffed with attentive personnel, including a chef and room attendants, and the ambience reflects its 150-year history. Highlights include the stylish vintage decor and lighting fixtures, a luxurious bathroom with, yes, a beautifully heated shower, immaculately clean and comfortable rooms, and top-notch meals prepared by an expert chef. I would recommend staying in this place after you've completed a few stages of the trail and you're maybe contemplating doing the final 2. You can get your clothes cleaned here and you can be fresh and ready to move on. To reach your next trail stage or to go to the train station, the staff can arrange a tuk-tuk ride from the bungalow. There probably isn't a better tuk-tuk ride in the world. It's a lot less busy than Colombo's bustling streets. It's very cool, and just take a look over your shoulder and you'll see scenes that you don't usually get to see in your life. Stage 20 was the end of my 3-day hike, but I absolutely plan to return to do other stages which I didn't do this time. The trail is beautifully curated, although it does require some effort to arrange accommodation and transport, but I would say the experience is well worth it. I'll provide details of all the accommodation and useful resources in the descriptions below, and I hope you found this useful. Okay, get booking, get on that trail. Bye for now.